fucking man. Y'all don't get it, do you? Type of money, everybody acting like they knew you. Go uptown, New York City, bitch. Some Spanish girls love me like I'm out with Buddha.
Hey, Drizzy, KC, Butcher Boy. We're back for part 2. We ain't wasting no time with Drizzy on the background. We're going straight into it. So we were talking Niners before on the last part, and you broke it down just the way I knew you would, man. That's why I got you on here, man. Now, that was all micro. Okay, that was the Niners right now. I want to go macro with you, Butch, because you are, like I said, you are the Bay Area. You are San Francisco, in my opinion. The 49ers, the organization, leaving the city. Is that, now we're all gonna love the Niners, you know what I mean? And if they win a championship, and they're gonna go down market, and we're gonna have a blast. But will the city ever forgive Jed for leaving the city?
It's a great question, and I'm gonna straight up admit it, because a lot of people they disagree with a lot of people. They think I'm an idiot or whatever. I am biased. I'm born and raised in San Francisco. I grew up blocks from Candlestick. Of course I'm hurt. There's no question. I'm biased. What do you expect me to be? Okay?
Right.
This is that childhood team that I grew up in the stadium walking to with my dad and my brother and my grandpa. I got memories. I got deep-rooted feelings and emotions when it comes to the Niners and Candlestick. That being said, did they need a new stadium? There's no question, okay? Did it have to be down in Santa Clara? I don't think so. And the frustrating thing is this, is that I feel like the Niners, the ownership, okay, misled the fan base and the public and gave us a bunch of BS that we're starting to find out isn't true. Okay, the first thing was, we need a new park. We need to make the game day fan experience better. Well, parking down there is awful. The access, the availability to get down there is awful. And they say that, we need a new stadium for revenue. Wait a minute, man. I keep telling people, this is a salary cap league. You have to spend a minimum amount, and you have to spend a maximum amount. So even if you are making money hand over fist, you can't go over that. That cap, okay?
Right.
It's very frustrating. This is the question that me and my buddies, we all talk about. And again, we're all biased. I'm here, all my buddies, most of the part from here. How do you compartmentalize loving your team, the Niners, the team you grew up with, and hating the ownership group because of how they treat us? Seriously, they think we're stupid. The Harbaugh firing, you to his party. Come out and say, we fired him, we didn't like how he was developing the quarterback, he bricked in fourth quarter situations, the timeout, blah, 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 whatever, any reason you want, just admit it, what you did. It's when you skirt the facts like a politician that we all look at you and go, I can't stand you. And everything you say, how can I take his face value? Here's a great one, okay, is they basically got Santa Clara to give them a bunch of dough, and then took the the seat licenses, all these people that prepaid up front, and used that fund to finance their stadium. That could have been done anywhere.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Joe Lacob with the Warriors right now. I heard a lot of people, they'll never build up the city of San Francisco is so difficult to deal with.
Yeah.
You can't build anything. Lacob's building a waterfront stadium right near the Giants.
Right.
And it's not just about being in San Francisco. It's about how you do it. Just like how they fired Harbaugh, even though they didn't admit it, they lied about why they need to go down to Santa Clara. Be honest, Jed, you went down to Santa Clara because you wanted to be the king of the town. You couldn't stand looking at Gavin Newsom at the time because your parents got told no, and you wanted to build a shrine to these first families. Not a football stadium based solely for the fan experience and celebrating our past. If that was the case, you wouldn't be charging $25 to go inside a museum when these seasons can hold $8K to go down there. It's just, the whole thing is like out of a movie.
Yeah.
It just makes me shake my head.
You know what? I couldn't have said it any better. And I'm from Sacramento, and I don't know if you guys even know or care, but in Sacramento we love the Bay Area. That's where all this Giants, Niners. We love the Bay Area. We love San Francisco. We look up to you guys. We love you guys, right? And when the Niners left the city and they were going to Santa Clara, being an outsider, I was like, that sucks. But it didn't really register. I was like, it's not that big of a deal. Santa Clara's not that far away. It's not that big of a deal. Until probably the first preseason game. And I said, you know what? God damn it, they took the team out of the city. Are you kidding me? They took the San Francisco 49ers out of San Francisco. And it hit me a lot harder than I thought it would. I would, if there was a way they could teleport that place back into the city or knock it down or do whatever and build a new one, I'd sign a petition and give $20 to it right now. Because they took the team out of the city. And this will lead into my next question, and then it'll lead into the Giants. I always felt for the longest time that when you talked about San Francisco, I thought it was pretty split, Giants and Niners. It was Giants and Niners all the way through.
Yeah.
People would tell you, a lot of people would say it was Niners before Giants. I always thought the Giants got a little bit of a raw deal with that. I thought it was split, but people would say Niners for sure. But I felt and this era right now with Harbaugh in there, even with the Giants winning World Series, I put it to you like this: if the Giants got $1 million for a parade, I feel like the Niners will get 1.5 for a parade. I felt like this Niners team, this organization, it was a doormat fan base, and it just got rejuvenated to an unbelievable level. And I felt that they had regained a connection with the city, with the identity of San Francisco. And just like that, he took it away. He took it away in the middle of it, in the middle of this resurgence of the fan base and the connection with the city. And he took it away. And not to mention, at the same time, the Giants have this unbelievable, I don't want to say renaissance, but it's a baseball town now. San Francisco is a die-hard baseball town.
I didn't mean to cut you off. Kenny, it's not even a renaissance. The Giants thing is a phenomenon. It's unbelievable.
Yes.
I told you I grew up under Candlestick. Everybody around there had Niner flags. Everybody had Niner swag, Niner gear, Niner this, Niner that. When I was growing up, you know what most people had? And it's not just San Francisco Bay Area. A's gear.
Yeah.
The A's were the team. This is the thing that I get in fights with the A's fan base. I go, you were the Giants fan base for a long time. You were the front runners. You had a bunch of fringe fans.
Yeah.
There was 6,000 people on a Tuesday night. Me and my dad go for like $1. No joke, $1. Get out in the family pavilion, watch the Giants. We were a Giants family. I mean, that's because we love baseball, and we grew up with it, and we will always be baseball family, but we love Niners too. And we can stick our chest out. I'm a Niner fan. We got 5 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
I'm a Niner fan.
Yeah.
Candlestick, the catch,
Yes.
Go right down the list. Keysar, you name it. With the Giants, it's like, yeah, I'm a Giants fan. And it was so frustrating because it would always be the bridesmaid.
Right.
And I feel like the two cities right now are in a transition, whereas the Giants are taking that next step into, Red Sox, Yankee territory.
Yes.
The Niners are like stuck in neutral. And like you said, I really thought they could have parlayed all this recent success into a 10-year run that would have been as special as anything we've had. And you're not going to recreate the 80s. Everyone knows that. The league's changed. Everything's different. But there was a team of players. Everyone knew the players. Alden Smith, Navarro Bowman, Willis, Frank Ford, Justin Smith, part of the sexy coaches guy, khaki commercials, and everything about it. There was a sweet candlestick, like the Fenway of football, and in the flash, all that's changed.
Yes, just in a heartbeat. And I'm gonna get off the Niners. We can go another 2 hours with the Niners and what's going on with them.
I know. They're frustrating, and I love them.
Yes. And I'll ask you this. And like I said, you're Mr. San Francisco to me. I look at you as the ambassador for San Francisco. E40's the ambassador of the Bay. The Butcher Boy's the ambassador for San Francisco sports, in my opinion. All right? Are you and have you gone to Levi's?
Okay, and I'm going to be very upfront. No, I got free tickets multiple times. I gave them away. I have made a stand. It's not about Levi's. It's about New York. I will not give them $1 more of my money. I will not step into that stadium and pay these guys. I don't care if the ticket's free. You know I'm buying a soda or a hot dog or something.
Yeah.
Okay? Now I work food service. We sell food service to Centerplate, which is one of the catering things that does all the different kiosks and whatnot.
Right.
And I had to give that account up. I didn't even want to go in there. I didn't even want to go in there. This is my little statement. Am I being biased? Am I being a little baby and a whiner and all those things? Yeah, but if I'm going to talk the talk, I better walk the walk. And so I basically told myself, and me and my boys, I will never go down there. You know how bad I want to go to WrestleMania? You know how bad I want to go down there? Let's just see WrestleMania, and I can't because I've already dug my foot in so deep. And I just don't want to go in there. Two reasons. One, what if I like it? Oh, man, all my talking points are gone. You know, and what a liar. And two, I want to be a man of my word. And I do think eventually I would make my way down there and check it out. But to me, the wound is so fresh. Okay, I drive by 101 every day. You know, I'm looking at it, I'm slowly seeing it being constructed and getting torn down, and it's just like, it's like a bumpy blow. Next thing you know, Patrick pulling up the tires, and it's just so metaphoric right now. It's too much. And like people said, dude, get a life. I got a life. I got a family I love. I got a beautiful wife. I'm very fulfilled. But, you know, sports is a big part of who we are. And as a family, you know, me and my dad and my grandpa, all we got is sports. You know, that's what brought us all of us. Yeah, we got our family and all our stuff, but the Giants and the Niners and the Warriors, they're part of our extended family.
Right.
You know, and it's something that I grew up with. I see you and your son on Instagram and on Twitter and stuff, and I see you guys are sharing that same kind of passion and love, and it's really what brings families together, and it's the last place on Philadelphia Bruce Line where the community gathers in large quantities. We don't go to Town Square and watch the mayor talk anymore, you know?
Right.
It's the last place for us to physically get together to be prideful. When we go to the Giants game, it's a madhouse down at AT&T. It's palatable. You can taste the energy. I mean, you really can't. It's not dollar size, but you can taste it.
Right.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Right.
Canada had that electricity. You walk through that place, and I don't care if we were 3-13 or 13-3. You knew Candlestick was going to rock if they gave us a chance.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. I agree. And Butch, you're going to go to Levi's, okay? I'm going to, even if I have to drag you one of these, I'll give you time to get over it. You're going to Levi's, and you're going to Levi's with me. We're going to have a beer. We're going to have a good time in Levi's. I actually hear, I understand a lot of people who say that. I want to go to Levi's, and I actually hear the place is phenomenal. Like, I hear it's like all ownership and all that other stuff aside, I hear it's a great place. They just got to get a win there. Now, here's the thing I will say about Levi's, okay? And people are down on it for a number of different reasons. The way it was built, the acoustics, you know, opposing fans in there, whatever the case may be. I always use this analogy. AT&T Park in 2002 is nowhere near what AT&T Park was in 2010. And these things take time sometimes. You got to get the corporate guys out of there. You got to get the guys who just want to go and see the place out of there. And it may take 5 years or so to get the fan back in there. You know what I mean? This may be a little tougher in football. I don't know. But I know that AT&T, as great as it was when it first opened, the energy, the vibe, the atmosphere in there is 10 times different and better now than it was then. So that's what I'm holding out hope for with Levi's.
No question. The counterpoint that I would throw at you is baseball, because of the sheer amount of numbers, 81 games a year, it allows for more opportunities for moments. You know? And so AT&T, although it's only 15 years old, I feel like it's been there for 30.
Yeah.
There's so many moments. You can pick 25 of your top moments, whether it's any of the ball stuff, whether it's the backhand perfect game, the World Series, playoffs, and, you know, the 2003, the Giants get swept by the Marlins, you know, in the World Series, where Jason Smith pitches awesome. I mean, so many different things that happen. It's going to be very, very difficult for Levi's to build up that resume, and especially if the team struggles. I don't know. It's going to be difficult. Now, look, all that being said, I totally agree. The new stadium, whether that one was built in San Francisco or down in Gilroy, okay, the fan base was changed. The experience was there changed. Obviously, you know, that there's no question in that. I just, you know, and again, I'm a homer. I'm biased. But seeing them leave the city, especially when they were the first team on the West Coast, the Warriors moved from Philly. The Giants moved from New York.
Right.
Okay? The Niners were born and raised here in the city. They were a slice of this town. Like, they were a big slice of this town. I mean, he talks yourself without synonymous in bringing up Joe Montana.
Right. You're 100% right. 100% right.
I'm so the Niners are so frustrating because the Niners right now, all we're doing is talking about them. The Giants just cast in his third championship in 5 years, something I never thought I'd ever see in my entire life. I never thought would ever be possible. And it shows you how popular the Niners are. That the Giants, there's a lot of people that are baseball only, and I get that in their book. But let's be honest, if Harbaugh was fired today and the Giants won the World Series, the Giants had the parade, people would still be buzzing about Harbaugh.
Yes.
At the parade.
Yes.
That's how powerful the Niners are.
Yeah. That you're 100% right. 100% right. I've always I threw out the question before. If the Giants, maybe not even their first World Series, it was their second World Series, and they put 100 million people or 1 million people in downtown San Francisco, the Niners will put 1.5, close to 2 million people. Like that's just what it is. It's about the Niners. The Niners, the Giants are and baseball in general is a regional thing. The Niners are national. Like the Niners are national. They are a national brand, a national team, and that has been brought back to the forefront. But we're going to get off the Niners because, like I said, we can go for hours. I want to give love to the Giants, man. I got to give love to the Giants. And before I talk about the 2015 Giants, 3 in 5 years, what does that mean to Butcher Boy?
Well, first off, 2010 was the most magical run I've ever seen firsthand from a team in any sport. I mean, we had the We Believe Warriors, and that was real special. Right. And we got to the second round. You know what I mean? We got to the second round. The Giants finally got over the hump with a bunch of outcasts and guys that all the Oscars from their year, Juan Uribe and Aaron Rowan making one throw after getting paid $55 million. And people right down the list, and Kim Lincecum, 55, the little guy with the long hair and the goofy teeth, went out and just dominated. He had B. Weezy, the machine, and Pat Cole, a local legend. And then you thought that's what went through a lifetime thing, like the White Sox. They did it one time. Wow, that was awesome, special. 2011, Buster goes down. 2012, I mean, just the comeback, kid. Unbelievable. I think.
Zito in Game 5.
It can't get any better than this. And then to do it again this year. And the thing that stuck out to me this year, and this is, I'm a big baseball fan. I know the game. I know the history. And I'm speaking with perspective. Mm-hmm. Bruce Bochy is the greatest Giant manager in franchise history, and it's without a doubt. Yeah. Age of specialization, okay? And we're relief pitching. You don't have a starter going 3 times in a series, Bumgarner did, but you normally don't. You have 3 different closers, 3 different World Series, 3 different center fielders, 3 different second basemen, okay? 3 different aces. I mean, it is incredible how amazing Bruce Bochy has been pushing all the right buttons down 1-0 to the Nationals in the bottom of the ninth, top of the ninth with Jordan Zimmerman on and Matt Williams blinked. And the next thing you know, the Giants are going to the World Series.
Yeah, it's over.
It happened like that.
It's over.
Literally on the brink of getting eliminated.
Right. Bruce Bochy, and it's amazing that it's gotten to this point because just think about 07, 08, you know what I mean, when people weren't too sure on him. 09, I know you remember this, but 09 they made a bit of a run, and they made it all the way to probably about September when they faded with the wild card. But I looked at what he did in 09, and I was like, wow, like this guy this is Bruce Bochy. This is some good stuff, and I was hoping that it would be something that would continue, but I was like, I don't know, maybe it was just, they caught people off guard. Then what he did in 2010 and there on out, with specifically, in my opinion, the way he handles a game in that bullpen is a thing of art. It is a thing of art. That's the thing I always felt with Bochy. It took some time during the season, whether it's injuries or replacing guys in certain spots. But once he found out how to manage that bullpen, oh man, it is a thing of beauty what he does out there as a manager for the Giants, and I'm glad he's on our team.
There's no question. We talk about quarterback and coach in the NFL. Well, to me, the big parallel for the Giants has been catcher, who's the quarterback of the team, let's be honest, okay,
Yes.
and coach and the manager. And it's not just Bugs. Bugs is freaking awesome, but it's Ron Lotus. It's Dave
Yes.
Manny finding
Yes.
something in Madison Bumgarner's delivery in 2010 to have him pitch one of the greatest games at 20 years old in Game 4 against the Texas Rangers, and it's incredible. I look at the Rangers, okay? They were on the cusp of winning the World Series. They were right there, very much similar to the Niners in football.
Yes.
They didn't get over the hump, but they had such a great team. They were just stacked. I look at the Giants and I go, oh my God, we had just Buster Posey. I mean, literally, there's not one other guy that'd be desirable on many other teams. That Pablo had a pretty solid year this year. But in 2010, he had 2 at-bats.
Right.
Then Kane had 2 at-bats as well. I mean, that's incredible.
What they did in Game 1 against Cliff Lee, because we got to put things in its context. At the time, Cliff Lee was unbeatable in the postseason, unbeatable. And then they go down. I think they went down 2-0 or 1-0, and the way they stormed back in that 5th inning, I think it was, knocked him out of the game. I was floored, and not only what they did, but we got to remember who they were. This was the San Francisco Giants. We've been through all this, okay? The Giants don't do this. And for them to do that at that time, and ever since, that moment, it's been glory. The 2015 Giants. Now, I'm going to show Brian Sabian respect because he has hit a lot more than he has missed, over his whole tenure, but definitely in these last 5 years. So I'm not going to fault him. And it's almost just, it's not classy to complain after winning your 3rd championship in 5 years. But I'm not thrilled about this team. Now, losing Fat Panda, as you like to call him, that's going to hurt. I like Casey McGee, though. He's not going to be Panda, but I like Casey McGee. He's okay. The big problem with me is the outfield. I don't want Aoki in left field. And Pagan, I love the guy. I salute every time I see him, but the guy's made of porcelain, okay? And Blanco, as much as I like him, I think Blanco's a 4th outfielder. I know you're big on Blanco, but I think he's a 4th outfielder. Or he's your everyday center fielder with a big bat in left field. And
I agree with that.
And I'm worried about this team. I love PV. I love Hudson. I think they're done. Okay, they couldn't get through the postseason last year. They ran out of gas in August. I'm worried about them. On the plus side, I'm a believer in Brandon Belt. I think Brandon Belt's going to have a good year if he can stay healthy. And I love Joe Panic. So last year, you think about it, we fumbled around for 3 months at second base until we finally brought Panic up. So you got to think we got Panic for a whole year. Casey McGee may be able to give you 70% of what Pablo did. I think the big problem is out in the outfield, and I don't know how this team puts up runs.
I think you made some great assessments. I would agree on a lot of things. Jim Pagan, 4 years, $40 million. I said at the time, I'll continue to say it. The guy had a career year in 2012. He played awesome, okay? He's not worth $40 million. That's what Floyd got on the open market as a Cuban superstar, okay? Who electrifies and puts money in the team. And Pagan's he's a nice player, but he's not an anchor player to get $40 million to. The problem with the Giants is that we're all looking for the sexy name, and similar to St. Louis and similar to the New England Patriots, they find a way to plug and play these guys. Joe Panic, I know he was a first round pick. I've watched the top 100 prospects, Big 50 board. He wasn't on any of those things.
Yeah.
And then he comes up and he's like a revelation. You know what he reminded me of? I mean, you're an old school baseball fan. He reminded me of a super poor man, Robbie Alomar.
Yeah.
Years beyond his age and maturity, plays the game with such a calm confidence and knows the strike zone, doesn't lean or reach for balls. Great guy to have in front of Posey, who's taking pitches and will allow his guy who's on first base to maybe steal a bag, or if he puts the ball in play in a certain context. Really liked him. Pence is my guy. I'll give Pence $100 million any day, every day, because I know what he's going to bring to the ballpark in leadership. So sad to see him go down and get hurt. I hope he can come back. Anyone can come back in a relatively short amount of time. He's the guy is the workout warrior, and he's going to do it. I love Penn. I love everything he brings. This is the key to this season to me. Buster needs to catch about 115 games. Susak needs to go in there and catch his amount. Come playoffs, Buster's the I think he's the greatest game caller since Johnny Bench. I talked to my dad about this all the time. When was the last time he said, Buster, that pitch sequence, I don't know if I was feeling that.
Right.
Don't even question it. Don't even question it. So I want his legs to be fresh. I want him to play a little first base. I want him to be ready to go for that push. Sushak's going to play. The big question mark to me, and this is going to be the make or break year, in my opinion, is for Brandon Belt.
Yes.
Brandon Belt plays 120 games. I think he hits 25 home runs.
Yes.
If he does not play in 120 games, I think you have to move off him.
Yeah.
Okay, that's 3 straight years where he hasn't played. I'm being realistic and logical. I know there's some Brandon Belt lovers, there's some Brandon Belt haters.
Yeah.
But realistically and logically, this is his year. He needs to step up. He needs to not look for the walk. We love that he has a great eye, but you're a 6'5", 230, 240 first baseman. Swing the bat like you mean it, bro.
Yes.
We need it this year from you.
I agree 100%. Real quick, I just piggyback on what you said. I like how you put Susak in there and not Hector Sanchez. I love the guy, but no. I don't want Sanchez no more. Susak is the backup catcher, and it needs to be that way from opening day. So, real quick, because we didn't even talk Dubs the way I wanted to. I got 2 things I want to ask you. You got 30 seconds on each of them, okay? Do the Dubs win the World Championship this year? This is crazy to even say. Do the Golden State freaking Warriors win the NBA Finals this year?
As a lifelong Warrior fan, suffering, I'm just going to say this. I'm taking it one series at a time.
That's the way to do it.
No question. But you cannot run baby steps.
Yes.
Let's win. We got into the second round with this group, okay? Let's get to the Western Conference Finals. But let's start winning the first round. Let's see what the Max is in the second round. Let's go one step at a time. The NBA, I've watched it my whole life. I'm a diehard. It took them years to get through the East. It took the Bulls years to get through the East. You need to develop. I know everyone's the 3 stars and just get the championship and win it. It takes time.
Yeah.
The team's going in the right direction. And I just want to go one series at a time. I know that does not sound sexy, but it's true.
That's the smart way to go about it. Here's the other thing I want to ask you. Everybody up until May 2nd that comes on this show has to answer one question. Floyd or Manny?
I'm going to tell you this. As a WWE lifer, I'm going to get a lot of eye rolls. Anybody who goes WWE, I'm for it. I hate that. Whether it's Brock Lesnar, whether it's my man Money Mayweather, you know the patient Money Mayweather. You know why I love Mayweather? I know the domestic violence stuff. I get all that. It's not. Floyd doesn't represent San Francisco for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Individual contract mercenary.
Right.
I love the family dynamic because it reminds me of my crazy ass family. He's got Roger, he's got Floyd Sr. They're freaking insane. I love those guys. And Freddie Roach, he's a snake. I never liked Freddie Roach. He talks way too much.
Yes.
I can't stand the guy's gut. And I love father son. Because I you and your kids, me and my dad are real close and everything. I just love the father-son dynamic, whether it's Rourke and his dad, Tiger and his dad, or, Tim Lincecum and his dad, in this case, Floyd. I love those types of dynamics and seeing how those play out. And I'm going Money Mayweather, Team WWE. I don't want to see Bieber out there.
The Biebs. The Biebs, I think it's going to be a really good one, too. I told my man last week, I actually see a scenario where Floyd may stop him late in the rounds, but it's going to be phenomenal. Butch, man, you killed it, bro. I could go another part if we had the time right now, man. You did your thing. Like I said, you're a legend in my eyes, bro. You're a legend in my eyes, so I appreciate you hopping on KC's Corner with me, man. This was great.
KC, you know what? You're a great person. I really appreciate it. Family man, I respect the hell out of you. Keep coming into me. I love our banter back and forth. Anytime you want to hit me up, got your number. You know the code. Hit me up, 457, baby.
I got you, fam. I got you. KC's Corner with the legendary Butcher Boy on here. I appreciate y'all listening. Y'all tell a friend. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We're going to be back at you next week. Y'all be good. Peace.
All these bitches wanna chill, maybe she won't, then again maybe she will. I can almost guarantee she know the deal, real nigga, what's up? Now she